4, 3, 2, 1. We're live.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. Our main topic of today and that is what we call advocates for evil, or PEDx, as I had coined right as I got in here, and Chad really thought that was clever. But yeah, so I don't even know how to begin with this. We all know that, what do you call it? The LGBTQ community is in the forefront of culture. They're in everything. They're everywhere, doing everything. But they're trying to add a letter to the LGBTQ. They're trying to add the letter P for pedophile, to the flag. Because, like I said, remember, this is a Marxist group. All oppressed groups are a part of that community. And that's what Marxism is. It's like they just try to throw every group in there, every perceived marginalized group in there together to get their rights. And as far back as I can remember, why don't you pull up that video of the TEDx talk first for me, if you would?
It just disappeared. I'm gonna have to re-pull that up. My bad.
That's okay.
There we go.
Okay. But yeah, if you could find the TEDx one first.
TEDx one. Okay.
Yeah.
There it
So this video that we're about to show you came out almost 10 years ago, maybe more. And I remember seeing this when I was in college, and I was like, this can't be real. Yeah. The fact that people aren't booing her off the stage in the audience is profound. But I mean, this was like 10 years ago. This woman was saying, your children are safer with pedophiles than they are with you. It was unbelievable. Now, she doesn't get that. Like, I guess we'll play this clip, and we can come in and talk about it on the tail end. But yeah, go ahead and play it, and we'll watch a bit of it, and you can kind of see.
I want to quickly summarize where we are at the moment. According to current research, pedophilia is an unchangeable sexual orientation, just like, for example, heterosexuality. No one chooses to be a pedophile. No one can cease being one. The difference between pedophilia and other sexual orientations is that living out this sexual orientation will end in a disaster.
That right there, that girl gave an entire hour-long speech advocating for pedophiles, advocating for, there are some pedophiles who don't act on it, and they would love to babysit your kids. I bet they would. And they go, you should trust them with your kids. That was 10 years ago that came out. I remember watching that in college, or just after college, and being like, is this... I was like, is this B for real? Like, this can't be real.
Yeah. That's honestly the video that made me think that TED Talks weren't real things. I thought they were just fake little interviews and or whatever. I was like, so these TED Talk things are fake. The first time I saw that, that's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, these are jokes. People don't take these seriously, but I mean, they did, and look where we are. 10 years later. Crazy. But this is it. I mean, that right there shows you just how nuts things have gotten. That was 10 years ago that she was advocating for that. And now they are part of the zeitgeist, and they're being talked about being added to the LGBTQ flag. I don't know what color they're going to put on there for pedophiles. And then Chad jokingly said they're going to put the pedo bear on there, which the pedo bear has been the, he's just this. If you can see on the main picture we have up there, he's that little bear in the bottom left corner of the screen. And
honestly, I said that should be the new LGBTQ flag if they do that. Just put all the little rainbow, crap in the background there, and then just pedo bears just right there on the front, because that would sum up their group and their flag more than anything else.
Yeah. So it's so creepy. It's so weird. And the fact that, look at that. I mean, that dumb chick advocating for them, being like, they're not bad people. And like I said, this comes from the idea that evil doesn't exist in the world. It comes from the idea that, that all people like some things. I mean, and again, she was arguing against basically the trans ideology. You can't change. It's like, well, according to the trans ideology, you totally can change. So you're having conflicting ideologies on that flag.
They've always had these conflicting ideologies, either being gay or pedophile or whatever the heck the new trend is. Transgender is a choice or it's not. It can't be both.
Yeah.
That's the issue that we're having, and that's the issue that everybody's had with this from day one. It's like,
no, there's no consistency to it.
There's never been consistency with it because they never tell you. It's like, well, some people are born this way. I thought it was a choice. You have to pick one. It can't be both.
Is Lady Gaga right, baby? I was born this way. Or is it, no, I came to this conclusion on my own. It's so weird. There's no consistency. It's all ridiculous. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
But here they are saying that but here they are being welcomed into the zeitgeist of our culture. Again, we just finished Pride Month, the deadly sin of Pride Month. And we had showed you all the clips of the people in San Francisco walking around butt naked, kids going out there. They had the little kiddie pool where they were peeing on people and then fellatiating each other in the pool as well.
Yep.
In public. And that guy walked up to the police officer going, I thought you said as long as they weren't sexually gratifying themselves, it was
in public. And then they go, well,
why don't
technically this is a private event. It's a private event. They're still in public. It doesn't matter if it's a private event behind closed doors. Sure, maybe we can consider that okay, but this is in public.
How come that's not just considered prostitution? I mean, you can still be a prostitute doing it for free, can't you?
Well, I mean, that's like where the old saying comes, where like Family Guy made that one meme where it's just like, guy takes a girl into a hotel room and he exchanges money, and then the police bust in and they go, "You're under arrest for prostitution." He goes, "No, wait, we have a video camera." Oh, so now
she's a performer.
Now this is pornography. It's okay now. Yeah. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. It's that one judge that came to the conclusion about porn. So dumb. Like, he's like going, I don't know. He goes, it's hard to define, but I know what it is when I see it. That is a terrible precedent to be set right there. I don't know. I can't remember that judge, but that was the dumbest decision that was ever put to that anyone ever gave. So, yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, we'll push on and we'll just give you several more examples of what's going on in society right now.
Just show you that it's not just that one-off TED Talk. This is something that is being pushed through society on a regular basis.
And that TED Talk was 10 years ago, mind you. 10.
All right, here's the next one right here.
IPCE, if you don't know, that's International Pedophile and Child Emancipation. And our goal is to abolish the stigmatization of people with pedophilic sexual interests and normalizing the potential role in moderating pedophiles' emotional well-being. I know that's a mouthful.
Wait, before we get any further.
What are we saying right now?
Yeah, this sounds disgusting. Are you saying you're a pedophile?
No, I'm not saying that I'm a pedophile in the sense that I've never had sexual relations with a person underage.
But you're saying we should accept
because
pedophiles?
That's illegal. Well, I just don't believe we should be shunning those in our community that have desires to engage in a romantic relationship with someone in a drastically different age group.
So you're saying you support pedophiles?
I'm saying I support love. Okay. And just because America views ages like 18 as some sort of imaginary bar or a line in the sand for humans to engage in romantic relationships doesn't mean it's right.
So you don't see anything wrong with a 20-year-old dating a 12-year-old?
That's not what I'm saying. But listen, in Nigeria, the age of consent is 11.
You're not saying anything.
It's 14 in other countries like Brazil, Colombia.
Oh.
If we're taking if we're taking a month as a country to showcase our pride for other communities of sexual exploration, then I think we should add the letter P, which is just as important as the LGBT.
Oh, my.
I work with IPCE.
Disgusting.
That is a group. I mean, now they've got women advocating for this, which is...
Well, it's always been women. You always put pretty young women forward to advocate for your ideology because we're generally... It's a sad truth, but the prettier, younger, and more attractive you are, the more willing people are to hear you out. And the more attractive you are, and the more pretty you are, and the more youthful you are, the more bullcrap people are willing to accept because they're like, oh, well, she's just a pretty dumb young girl. We might as well just hear her out, and then we can, But, I mean, that's the truth, like... It's the whole, guys will will put up with a lot from a really crazy hot girl until, they decide to leave them because they're just give them everything they want.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it is insane. And that right there goes to show you, like, she was saying empty platitudes the entire time. Well, love is love. It's like, what? The age of consent is 14 in places like Brazil. It's like, okay, that doesn't mean it's right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anybody who's been, like, as someone who watched a 14-year-old, mentally unstable 14-year-old grow up, you know, it's like, I'm not saying she was a bad kid, but 14-year-old girls are not the most rational people. They're not rational. They make emotional decisions. I mean, women for basically all of their lives make very emotional decisions.
Yeah.
But 14-year-old girls who the hardest thing they've ever dealt with is a breakup, they're not mentally capable of being like, yeah, I met this 47-year-old guy and he's got a nice house and a mansion. He's going to take care of me forever. It's like, or is he just, you know, going to use you, and then as soon as something newer, the bigger, better thing comes along, he's going to say bye to you and shove you on out the door. Now, I'm not saying that a 40-year-old can't date a 20-year-old. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is a 40-year-old should not date a mentally unstable, unworld experienced 14-year-old. That's very different. I mean, you're talking to a girl that just stopped playing with dolls and became just found out about her, probably just came of age, if you know what I mean, if you catch what I'm saying there. Just started discovering her body and just started, you know, hitting puberty. So, yeah, that is awful. And again, this isn't even the only example. Again, Chad has another thing to show right here, which I can't believe what they're arguing for here. I mean, they're trying. What are they doing here, Chad? They're trying to stop legislation from being passed?
Yes. On this one, that's what I was getting ready to move on to, but I knew you were kind of going on a rant there, which I love it when you go on your rants. So, but in this one, this is a bill, SB 1414 or 1414, and this is a bill that, if you just basically sum it down and dumb it down to its dumbest thing, it raises penalties for soliciting minors for prostitution. That's what this law does at its basic hilt. And so it's basically moving it to a felony to solicit an underage person for sex. And these are LGBTQ activists saying that this unfairly targets the LGBTQ community. Well, if the LGBTQ community is soliciting minors
for sex,
for adult activities, something's wrong with the LGBTQ community, not the bill. So I don't know what the heck is going on in California. California is falling. I mean, California is literally a living hellhole at this point. I mean, it's literally, I mean, what was he talked about this on one of our last shows that we did, is like, it's no longer a felony to not tell somebody that you have AIDS
and HIV
before you have intercourse with them now. That's ridiculous. If you know that you have that and you actively are doing it, you are basically killing people.
Yeah, you're murdering them.
Yeah, it's
by proxy.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So,
but just play the video and we can talk about it some more on the other end. But yeah,
I think it was playing a little bit, so we might have missed a little bit of the front. But
it doesn't matter. You'll hear it all. I mean, you'll hear all the same empty platitudes that you heard on that radio talk show.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm starting it.
Oppose Senate Bill 1414.
Nice.
For the reasons I will state, we stand against any punitive measure that perpetuates systemic injustices, and we emphasize instead the need for community-based solutions. We strongly support investments in victim services and programs to provide housing and other alternatives to help people escape trafficking. We are concerned that the harsher penalties contained in this bill will disproportionately impact marginalized communities, particularly Black and Brown individuals who already bear the brunt of systemic biases within our criminal justice system.
So argued that
Under
Black
current
and Brown
California
people
law,
are more likely
defendants
to
could face
solicit
years or even
children.
decades
kind
in
of
prison
crazy.
for sexual
Kinda
violence committed
racist.
against a minor, not just 6 months in jail, as Senator Grove and prosecutors have previously claimed. Furthermore,
If
the
you
approach
are a person
outlined
of
in
color
SB
and they just said that
1414
about you,
diverts
I would be pretty
resources from
offended.
vital
Like,
programs
I'm more
and
likely to
services
be an
aimed at
offender in
supporting
this.
survivors of
As a
human
Black and Brown
trafficking
person, I'm
sexual
more likely to be a
exploitation,
pedophile.
opting
Get
instead
wrecked,
to
dude.
increase funding for lengthy jail
That's what
terms.
this liberal white
Our
woman just
research
said
has
about
shown
you
that
as a
punitive
person of
measures,
color.
such as
Ridiculous.
lengthy
That's the most racist
incarceration
thing
and
I've ever heard.
registries do little to prevent crime or protect communities. Instead, they perpetuate cycles of incarceration, exacerbating the very problems they are meant to address. Rather than investing in punitive measures, we should be investing in community-based solutions that address the underlying issues driving exploitation. We should instead support survivors in healing and rebuilding their lives with access.
See, the solution is never to punish the criminal. It's always to get the criminal help. It's always to increase taxes, to have more public programs, to teach people how not to be pedophiles? Are you kidding me? Like, there is a 99, they've already got all the studies. All the data is in on this. If you are a pedophile and you go to jail for pedophilia or child pornography or whatever, you have a 99.9% relapse rate. So if you go into some program and you're like, okay, I'm cured, there's a 99.9% chance you will fall right back into it. That is rates unheard of. Alcoholics Anonymous has better rates than that.
Any addiction thing has better rates than that.
So, no, stop advocating for criminals. Stop advocating for taxpayer dollars to be funded into programs that will get these people better. Unless you want to do the what do you say? The Democrat said the Mike Pence electroshock therapy. I mean, is that what you guys want to do? Because that's about the only thing they get. Like, anytime you show a picture of a child and they get aroused, shock them, like you shock them until it's like, now I don't want to do that anymore. It's like, do the Clockwork Orange punishment, like make them
that get sick anytime that they see something violent.
If they see a kid, they should just be like, ready to vomit. Yeah, that's the only thing you can do.
I mean, at that point, like, advocating for that's the only time I'd ever advocate for chemical castration.
Yeah, if you're a pedophile,
because that is wrong. And if you're saying that someone is born that way, then then you just proved to me that people can be born evil.
Yes.
So, and if it's a choice, that makes it worse.
Yeah, it's like, I'm choosing to be evil now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're talking about, folks. Like, that right there. Don't punish the criminal. Advocate for them. And then say it's due to racism, sexism, and all this other nonsense. It's like, no. If you commit a crime, there is punishment. Like, we used to say, yeah, we shouldn't criminalize marijuana that much. Okay, sure, whatever. And then the slippery slope. It's like, well, decriminalize all drugs. Like, I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with fentanyl. There's nothing wrong with heroin. There's nothing wrong with any of this stuff. But this is where we're at. Just decriminalize everything. We have no laws. We have no order. It's just chaos. And the one thing that we have to protect, the one reason that we protect our society, we're protecting children from predators. And guess what? Now they're advocating for the predators and saying children can be loved. They want to experience love at a younger and younger age. It's because our media, Instagram, Facebook, all the movies that come out. I mean, girls used to dress like girls, and now they're dressing like they're 21-year-old ethos or OnlyFans models. I mean, little girls are unrecognizable today.
It's like what we talked about when we first came to college. When girls went out for the evening, maybe it was just our particular friend group or whatever, but they wore jeans and like a nice t-shirt. And then when it came in about a year or two later, it turned into girls coming out in skimpy
cocktail dresses, with, where if they fell down, you could see Florida, So the culture's changed, and not for the better. And social media is destroying the culture. It's making kids want to grow up too fast. I would say enjoy childhood. Enjoy being a kid. But yeah. And again, I'll show you another example of them coming for your kids. So watch this. This is Transformers.
Yeah.
I mean, Flash gets made a parody about this, for God's sakes. And they've made a parody before this. They basically ruined Transformers. They don't have the original voice of Optimus Prime anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he does the movies, but that's about it. He doesn't do the kids shows.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
Can you switch,
Nightshade's pronouns are they, them.
He or she just doesn't fit who I am.
I'll kill you! Stay back! Can you switch?
I prefer old school Optimus. But yeah, no, I mean, that's a show. That is from a kid's show. That is from Transformers. I mean, I grew up watching Transformers. That's definitely not the kind of Transformers show I would want to watch now. It was about them transforming into robots and dinosaurs and fighting. That's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now it's that you've got advocacy for trans robots now. Like, oh my
God.
God.
They're throwing it in on everything when robots shouldn't even have genders really to begin with.
Yeah, no.
They're robots.
Yeah. So it's ridiculous. But yeah, that's about all we've got. We just want to keep shedding a light on this stuff because if you don't think it's that big of a deal, look at the culture. Look at everything going on around you. It's everywhere. And they're less than 1%. They're like a percentage, maybe 0.2. Maybe they're 2% of the population. But media would have you believe that they are half the population.
Mm-hmm. When they're not even a fraction of the population.
And they're just going to keep doing this, keep confusing your kids, keep pushing it out there in Hollywood culture and media. And you're going to wonder what happened to your kids and why they believe the things they believe. It's because it's everywhere. So we just want to make everyone aware of that stuff. I know we kind of beat this over the head. We talk about this a lot, but we want you to know. We want you to be aware because this is the truth. I mean, this is what's happening. And it's changing our society, and I would argue not for the better. So that's about all I've got for you today. This is the Twins with Owasso Live. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We want everyone to, especially in this area, to know because this is important stuff. If you don't know what culture your kids are consuming, you are going to wonder who your kids are when they get older.
You always know who your kids are talking to and what they're watching and what they're doing. That's why we advocate you should just have your kids have flip phones until they're like 18 to 20.
and monitor their Netflix accounts, monitor the shows that they watch, because even Netflix and Disney Kids is not safe from this type of indoctrination stuff that we showed you today.
Oh, that's one thing I forgot to bring up was Bluey has literally introduced a LGBTQ family now, so anybody that loves Bluey might want to start backing your kids off from it.
Yeah. So it's everywhere, man. It's the real deal. So again, that's all we've got for you today. We just want to make you aware, spread the awareness. Again, like, share, and subscribe. Live chat us in the show. Send us subjects that you want us to talk about. That's all we've got for you today. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and God bless y'all.
See you later, everybody.